Even though I totally called for Beishang on purpose, this boy took one look at me and immediately got a nosebleed. Let me tell you, his flustered look adores. Our girl loved it. So she totally teases him, smirking like, go on, stare all you want. I won't judge, I promise. Just last night, it was supposed to be our queen's wedding night with the crown prince, but he left her all alone in her chambers? Little did she know, someone psyched to drink or something. Our girl, eyes all red and watery, gripped Beishang's sleeve like her life depended on it. Beishang, help me. Master, your subordinate. I wouldn't dare. Your subordinate will go find the crown prince for you, master. You really want another man to touch me? The second he said that, his eyes immediately went red, his fists clenched so hard his knuckles turned white. Yandere flags anyone? Master, your subordinate does not want that. A moment before, our girl was sitting gracefully on the edge of her bed, still in her deep red wedding gown. Her maid Xiao Kusi was fuming and ranting. This crown prince is seriously too much. Leaving our young miss alone in her wedding chamber on the wedding night for so long. Xiao Kui's voice jolted our girl awake, and she sat up straight. Just then, another dowry maid, Hua Li, rushed in, breathless. Young miss, the crown prince. He's drunk, he said. Pre-rention. Said what? He said he'd be resting in the study tonight. The moment she finished, both maids immediately calmed down. They took off the veils, walked to the table, and chugged a glass of water. Like this was their first rodeo. Got it. You two can go rest first. Young miss, please don't be sad. The crown prince just hasn't met you yet. He probably thinks you're ugly, but tomorrow, when he sees your true beauty, he'll definitely regret it. Our girl just waved her hand, telling them to leave. After they left, our queen felt super parched, so she chugged 2 glasses of water. Uh-oh. But the moment she got to the bed, she felt off. Her legs went all jelly, couldn't stand, and she collapsed onto the bed. Her whole body was burning up. She was panting, her heart pounding like crazy. Beishang. And just like that, a man appeared before her. He was slender, dressed in all black, and respectfully knelt before our queen.
Master.
The moment she saw him, the heat inside her body intensified like crazy. Oh, the tension. Beishang. Master? He was shocked, immediately placing his hand on her wrist to check her pulse. Your subordinate will go invite the imperial physician. Our girl's mind was hazy, an unfamiliar longing rising from deep within, making her want to get closer to him. This is giving forbidden romance, folks. She tried to hold back, forcing out the words, am I poisoned? But she noticed his ears turn a faint red. It's not poison, master. It's an aphrodisiac. Our queen had never seen an aphrodisiac, but she'd heard of it. The only solution was a man and woman, and given her current state, she definitely couldn't wait. Her constitution was weak, and if she took other medicine to resolve it, she might lose half her life. Tears welled up in her eyes, incredibly uncomfortable. She tugged at Beishang's sleeve, pleading, help me. His body froze. He understood exactly what she meant. She definitely couldn't wait for the imperial physician. Master, production. Your subordinate wouldn't dare. Your subordinate will go invite the crown prince. Just as he was about to stand, our queen gritted her teeth, trying to suppress the raging heat, and asked, you really want another man to touch me? When she asked that question, our queen wasn't sure if Beishang liked her back. All she knew was that ever since she was 10, her father had sent him to protect her, absolutely and completely. My dad is the current prime minister, and I'm his absolute favorite daughter. The emperor, who totally relied on my dad, married me off to the crown prince to be his crown princess. All I knew about this crown prince was that he was smart, strong, and talented. Too bad I never actually met him. I wasn't really into socializing with the high society ladies in the capital, or even just going out for a walk. See, ever since I was in my mom's belly, my body has been super weak. The capital was full of rumors that I was a sickly, short-lived, super ugly recluse who shouldn't be seen. I mean, hardly anyone had actually seen me, so naturally, everyone just assumed I was ugly. For years, I lived as a total recluse, barely ever seeing men. Only Bakang was always by my side, protecting and comforting me. But real talk, I already had a thing for him. I just couldn't tell if he was being super loyal, or if he was secretly harboring a little crush too. Just as I was lost in thought, his deep voice cut through. My lady, this subordinate doesn't want to. He said he didn't want to. Wait, does that mean he actually does like me? Just then, the effect of the medicine flared up again. I was so uncomfortable I was practically in tears. So I told him then, come here. He clenched his fists so hard, hesitated for a beat, then spun around and pulled me into his arms. His eyes were blood red, like he was trying to hold back something big. You dare flags, anyone? Your subordinate has been disrespectful, my lady. Whatever punishment you deem fit later, I will accept without complaint. Cut to early the next morning. I was completely wiped out on the bed, just about to drift back to sleep, when I noticed Bakang. Dude was fully dressed and kneeling right beside the bed. I was so shocked it literally jolted me wide awake. What are you even doing? Your subordinate was audacious last night, my lady. Please punish me. I thought something serious happened. You almost gave me a heart attack. Get up. I'm not blaming you. I tried to lie back down, but honestly I wasn't sleepy anymore. My whole body was kinda sore, so I just sat up. That's when I met Bakang's intense gaze. Why are you still kneeling? I already told you I'm not mad. My lady, please, punish me. I started rubbing temples, giving myself a literal headache. Of course, he immediately thought I was unwell and asked, my lady, where are you feeling uncomfortable? I gave him a look, telling him to just stand up already, but nope, he stayed stubbornly kneeling. I let out a slow, dramatic sigh. Okay, look, how about you stand up first? Once I figure out punishment, then you can receive it. Deal? Only then did he finally respond and get to his feet. I called out for Xiao Wei a couple of times. She put the door open, took one look at the messy room, and immediately understood everything. She immediately pointed at Ah Kang and started going off on him. Ah Kang, how dare you? I cleared my throat twice, cutting her off. Xiao Wei, clean this place up, please. And absolutely nothing about day leave this room. Peach. Seeing that I wasn't even blaming Ba Kang, Xiao Wei knew better than to say anything else. She just gave a quick yes, my lady, and started tidying up. Pulled out a fresh outfit to change into, making sure the high collar perfectly hid any evidence on my neck. Xiao Atsui, where's Hua Li? Reporting, young miss. She realized she might have messed up and went quiet. It's fine, I told her. When it's just us, young miss is totally okay. Understood. Reporting, young miss. Hua Li went to fetch water for your wash basin. I gave a soft hymn and went to sit at my dressing table. Ah Kang snuck a quick glance at me, then immediately dropped his head again. My lady, your subordinate requests a withdrawal. I pulled out 2 hairpins and asked him, which one do you think looks better? The white one, my lady. It matches your outfit today. Okay, but he's not wrong. Ba Kang actually has good taste. Just then, Hua Li came in with the... Bak Thuong, what are you doing here? Shadow guards are supposed to be invisible, only popping out if their master's in danger or calls them. So spill the tea. Our Shadow Bay. Our girl waves him off like bye Felicia for now. Bak Thuong's out, so our queen gets ready to find her fiancé. But the crown prince's guards hit her with the classic, he's still asleep, your highness line, eye roll. She sighs dramatically, telling them to let the prince know she's already heading to the palace. Like hello, it's time to pay respects to the emperor and empress. Priorities. He can sleep in all he wants, but she'll be the one roasted for lacking etiquette. Classic. So she hops into the carriage and immediately crashes. After a sleepless night, our girl is feeling every ache and pain. The struggle is real. The carriage is bumpy, so no peaceful sleep for our queen. In her drowsy state, she feels someone holding her close. Gasp! A warm embrace, a fresh scent of wood. It's giving main character dream sequence. She's instantly comfy, and she knows it's Bak Thuong. Who knows how long she slept, but then Xiao Thui's voice breaks the peace. Young miss, young miss! She sleepily opens her eyes. Bak Thuong's gone, but that signature scent? Still there. She nods, gets up, and exits the carriage. Inside the palace, she immediately goes to pay her respects. Queen of Protocol. They've never actually met her, because our girl's been locked away in the Prime Minister's residence her whole life. But when they finally do, they're instantly charmed, praising her beauty. It's the main character aura. And when they hear her fiancé is still passed out from last night's party, no scolding for him, just go rest, sweetie. Seriously? Even though she rarely leaves her house, she knows her manners. She's a lady, okay? Her dad even hired a pro etiquette tutor, so no surprises there. On the way back home, she catches a whiff of sugar cakes. Our girl loves these cakes. Her dad used to bring them home for her after court. Aww. She softly calls out for Bak Thuong. And just like that, Bak Thuong literally jumps into the carriage window. Talk about service. Master. Our queen pulls on his sleeve, giving it a little shake. Bak Thuong, I want sugar cakes. Her voice is all cute and whiny, and Bak Thuong just gives a slight bow. Yes. Wait, yes? That's it? Just a single yes? She's literally me trying to get a reaction. Can you be like a tiny bit more gentle? Just a yes sounds so cold-hearted. Our girl pouts and turns her face away dramatically. He probably didn't even catch on that she was mad, just quietly jumps out the window again. Bro, you're dense. A moment later, he's back, literally jumping through the window, and then kneels before her, presenting the sugar cakes with both hands. So formal. She says nothing, still refuses to look at him. He immediately gets a little flustered. Good. Our queen snatches the cake and takes a huge dramatic bite. Bak Thuong, can't you be a little bit softer with me? She sees him freeze, his face basically screaming, wasn't I gentle enough, master? A moment later, something clicks in his brain, and his face goes bright red. He stammers, your subordinate understands. This subordinate was too crude and hurt master, please punish me. Wait, what? Wait, what is he even saying right now? She looks at his beet red face, and it hits her. Did he just misunderstand something huge? Our queen's face is burning from embarrassment. Not like that, you dork. Alright, fine, just get out of my sight. I don't want to see your face. Ugh, you're such a block of wood. And he actually just leaves? Like that? No, sorry, babe. Can't he tell I'm literally fuming right now? He knows I like him. Why's he gotta be so cold and emo about it? And then the ultimate weapon, crocodile tears activated. Munching on my sugar cake, sniffles and mumbles followed. Bei Chong, that absolute menace. He's the worst. Suddenly Hua Li from outside calls out, Miss, Bei Chang is still behind the carriage. Wait, wasn't he supposed to be running for the hills by now? Why is he still just casually strutting behind us? I peeked through the curtain, and sure enough, there he was, walking behind the carriage. And honestly, he looked kinda down bad. Okay, now I felt even more unjustly victimized. Hold up, he's the one who made me mad, so why does he look more pitiful than I do right now? I dropped the curtain, kept munching my cake, but deep down, I couldn't stop worrying about our simp ML Bei Chang. So I caved and called out to him again. This time, he didn't come inside, just stood outside the carriage and responded.
Master,
Your humble subordinate reports for duty. My blood was boiling. This man, I swear. Am I gonna eat you, or something? Aren't you supposed to be receiving your punishment, huh? Our pretty boy paused, stunned for a beat, then replied, Yes, this subordinate supposes so. A devious smile crept onto my face. Xiao Kui, have those bedsheets in my room been washed today? Oh no, not yet, miss. This servant was worried about traces, so I hid them under the bed for now. I nodded, thoroughly pleased with my master plan. Bei Chang, those are yours to wash now. And you better scrub 'em clean. Not a single trace allowed. Understood, your humble subordinate accepts this task. You didn't even have to look to know Bei Chang's face was beet red right then. And then our simp ML yeeted himself out of there. I chuckled softly, letting out a satisfied sigh. I remembered the first time I saw Bei Chang, tattered clothes, bare feet, in the biting December cold, toes frostbitten red. My father said he'd found Bei Chang abandoned on the road. Apparently, Bei Chang had single-handedly taken down over 10 bandits, all just to get money for medicine to save his mom. But by the time he fought tooth and nail, got the silver, and rushed back, his mother had already passed. Seeing his tragic backstory, my father promised to give his mother a proper burial. My father even offered him a bag of silver, but our simp ML refused, declaring he'd follow my father and dedicate his life to him instead. Noticing he was around my age and had some serious martial arts skills, my father assigned him to be my personal bodyguard. And just like that, Bei Chang willingly became my shadow guard, and 7 years flew by. He saved my butt countless times over those 7 years, meaning the debt to the Prime Minister's estate was paid off ages ago. My father even offered him freedom, but this man insisted on staying. Seeing how stubborn he was, my father didn't push it and let him continue being my personal shadow. Even now, with this whole marriage thing, he's followed me straight into the East Palace. Back at the estate, I overheard the servants gossiping about last night's developments. Apparently, the Crown Prince didn't even enter the bridal chamber last night. Like, hello? Our girl, the Crown Prince. Okay, but seriously, y'all think that the Crown Princess is ugly? Word on the street is her face is totally scarred and she's super sickly, like tragic. But who really knows, right? Then someone claps back, Nah, sis, you got it all wrong. I literally saw the Crown Princess yesterday. And get this, she's drop-dead gorgeous, way prettier than Miss Yueli, for real. Wait, wasn't Miss Yueli literally in the Crown Prince's chambers yesterday? Talk about a tragic wedding night for our Crown Princess, geez. Can only blame our girl for having trashy luck, I guess. The Crown Prince literally only has eyes for Miss Yueli. Xiao Cui and Hua Li heard all this tea and were ready to throw hands, but our queen stopped them. So our girl took a secret path back to her palace. Like, whatever they're saying, she literally doesn't care. And she's definitely not in love with the Crown Prince anyway. She just hopes the Crown Prince and his beloved Miss Yu Li have like deep love and loyalty or whatever, so that she and him can divorce ASAP duh. Back in her palace, our queen lounged on her couch and told Xiao Wei and Hua Li to get her a hot bath ready. Time for a pamper sesh, apparently. Yes, your highness. After the two maids left, our queen called for Chang. He knelt on one knee before our queen and respectfully greeted my lady. Our queen then casually drops, the bedsheets under the bed, and all my clothes? Yeah, you totally soiled them. So make sure you wash them squeaky clean, McKay. Hearing this, his cheeks turned beet red. Bro is already down bad. Yes, my lady, he stammered. He then grabbed the sheets, about to bolt, but our queen called him back. Hold up, wait until I'm done with my bath, then you can wash them. I gotta supervise, you know. He literally froze, stiff as a board, and managed a barely audible, yes, my lady. While bathing, our queen called Chang back in, and told him to wash the bedsheets right here. He stood outside the privacy screen, hesitating, like for real, almost scared to step in. After what felt like an eternity, our queen, totally impatient, called out. Chang, are you even listening or what? Yes, my lady, he finally managed, stepping in with a pile of clothes, his head perpetually bowed, avoiding eye contact at all costs. There's a wooden tub over there. Go get some water yourself, she ordered. Still with his head down, he meekly responded, yes, my lady. Our queen internally scoffed, I seriously doubt he can keep his head bowed forever. He fetched the water from the pond, but through the whole process, his head stayed down, not daring to look at her once. Then, he turned his back to her and started scrubbing the clothes. Our queen pouted, oh really now? You dare turn your back on me? How am I supposed to supervise you like this, huh? His body froze, then he slowly turned, dared to glance up at her for a fleeting second, only to quickly duck his head again and start washing the bedsheets. The bedsheets still had traces from yesterday's eventful night, obviously. Our queen caught a glimpse of his bright red earlobes, practically glowing like the crimson stains on the sheets. He washed them super slowly, gently scrubbing each part with utmost care. He scrubbed every inch of the bedsheet until it was sparkling clean. After finishing the bedsheets, he placed them in another wooden tub, then picked up our queen's red apron to start washing. And then, yeah, her underwear. Not only was his face beet red the entire time, but even our queen felt a tiny bit embarrassed herself. Once everything was spotless, he went to hang them dry, but our queen called him back yet again. "Chang, my neck hurts and my waist is aching too," she whined. "Come give me a massage, okay?" His face was even more easily flustered than hers, so he just froze in place, too stiff to move a muscle. Our queen's lips curved, ready for some next-level teasing. Bro's flustered look, literally peak cuteness overload. Our girl boss pouted. "Bei Chang, this is all your fault, you know. So, no massage for your girl?" At this, our simp ML looked like he'd just seen a ghost, or maybe just a super hot girl boss. The wooden bucket in his hand clattered, making him look even more flustered. Xiaozu and Huali, hearing the commotion, rushed right over. "Young miss, what in the cultivation world is happening?" They walked in, saw Bei Chang, and promptly froze like deer in headlights. Seeing Bei Chang's super stiff back, our queen couldn't help but let out a little giggle. "You two clean that mess up and take it to be re-washed. And unless I call you, stay out of this room, okay?" Our girl boss said, pointing to the clothes and bedspread scattered at Bei Chang's feet. They immediately got the message, turned beet red, scooped up the stuff, and yeeted themselves out of there. Meanwhile, Bei Chang was still frozen stiff, a literal statue. Our queen asked, "Bei Chang, so you're just gonna pretend you didn't hear me?" Bei Chang, like a good simp, instantly spun around and dropped to one knee. "No, my liege, your humble subordinate accepts." "Good boy, now come here and give your girl a massage." Bei Chang, shy as a kitten, tiptoed over, head bowed, clearly trying not to look at, well, anything he shouldn't. His palm was surprisingly warm, with a thin layer of calluses, but his touch was a tad bit too enthusiastic. Our girl boss frowned and let out a tiny huff. "Bei Chang, easy does it, darling." His hand paused, like he just remembered events of last night, and his heart rate definitely kicked into overdrive. Our queen could literally hear his heart thumping like a drum solo, yet still, our boy tried to play it cool and regulate his breathing. A moment later, his hand was back, gently massaging our girl's neck. This time he channeled his internal energy, and instantly, her neck felt like pure bliss. Talk about good service. And since her back was also aching, his palm found its way to her waist. As his internal energy slowly flowed in, that persistent backache totally vanished. Chef's kiss. Our queen, feeling extra playful, had an idea. She turned her head, looking straight into his eyes. "Bei Chang," she purred. "Are you tired, sweetie?" He stared wide-eyed and stunned, then quickly averted his gaze, murmuring a soft tired. His eyes, deep pools of mystery. Nose, perfectly chiseled. Lips, thin and pressed. Jawline, sharp enough to cut diamonds. Cheeks, flushed pink. Yeah, he's that kind of pretty. This man, looking like he was sculpted by the gentle spring winds, was making her heart do acrobatics. So beautiful. Our queen has never seen anyone this jaw-droppingly gorgeous. He was even more exquisitely refined than her, but the aura radiating from his very bones screamed 10-10 Bado. Honestly, if you didn't know him, you'd swear he was a cold-blooded, ruthless assassin. But nope, just a giant simp. Our queen grinned mischievously. "Bei Chang," she purred, "you are so beautiful. My liege is infinitely more stunning." Oh, you know, that made our girl's heart do a happy little jig. Like, who doesn't love it when their crush calls them beautiful? It's literally universal law. Our queen finally decided to get up when the water was literally lukewarm. He dared a quick peek, immediately dropped his gaze, and then, whoosh, nosebleed alert! Wait, did he not get a good look yesterday? What is happening? Why the sudden nosebleed now, boo? This subordinate deserves death, indeed. Bro, if you want to look, just look. Your girl won't even blame you, promise. My liege, this subordinate humbly requests to yeet himself away before he expires. Our queen just hummed, watching our bro is literally so adorable, cuter than any girl out there low-key. Your girl had just barely gotten into bed for a quick nap when Xiao Kui's voice screeched from outside, "Crown Princess, the Crown Prince has arrived." I opened my eyes and sat up, just as the door swung open, and in walked a dude with a proper if somewhat annoying face. I gave a slight bow, doing the whole "your humble servant, greets your highness" bit. He didn't say a word, but I could feel his gaze intensely judging me. Like, excuse me, who asked? I secretly gritted my teeth. After no sleep last night, heading to Tangan Palace at dawn, finally getting back to shower and rest, and he shows up to cause drama again? I gave a small cough and he finally spoke up. "From now on you can stay here, but don't expect any husband-wife shenanigans between us. Your highness already has someone Lux. You probably heard the servants gossiping by now." I secretly scoffed. Like, whatever, go ahead and simp for that Yue Li girl. It's not like I love you anyway, but I can't look too happy about it right now. Gotta hold back the giggles. Your humble servant understands, but can't expect me to live like a widow forever, can you? Hearing that, he froze. Bet he didn't expect our girl to be so direct, huh? I continued. Your humble servant hopes your highness can grant a divorce, and also give Miss Yue a proper status. Of course, I will find a way to divorce you. In the meantime, you can find some fun yourself. I won't interfere, just make sure outsiders don't find out. I nodded. Find some fun, huh? Does this mean I can flirt with Xiao Chang without consequences now? I'll be staying in the study. The servants in the manor have been clearly instructed. No one dares to speak out of turn. Thank you, Your Highness. After the crown prince finally left, I could finally go back to my big comfy bed for a nap. But the moment I laid down, I suddenly remembered something important. Wait, Bei Chang hasn't slept a wink since the beginning, has he? Isn't he tired? He must be even more exhausted than me. I softly called out, Bei Chang. As usual, he knelt before me. I patted the empty space beside me. Come here. Lie down here. Hearing that, he stiffened instantly. Master, this isn't proper. And what we did yesterday was proper. Yesterday, slowly subordinate deserves death. Saying that, he bowed his head even lower. I rolled my eyes. Okay, new plan. I pinched my thigh hard, and in an instant my eyes welled up with tears. Peak acting skills, am I right? I spoke in a choked, wronged voice. Bei Chang, are you going to leave me all alone? Do you hate me? As expected, the moment he heard me cry, he immediately looked up, flustered with total no. This subordinate doesn't hate master, written all over his face. Even though he was trying to comfort me, he still wasn't moving, still kneeling on the floor. Bro, pick lane! I cried even harder. Tears practically gushing out my face. Oscar-worthy performance, truly. Then why aren't you hugging me? He quickly stood up and pulled me to his arms. Finally, get in my arms, you precious puppy. Master, please don't cry anymore. This subordinate was wrong. Please, no more crying, okay? Wait, why does his voice sound like he's about to cry too? Confused, I looked out at him from his embrace, only to see his eyes were totally red-rimmed. Oh no, he's actually tearing up. He looked even more wrong and pitiful than I did. My bad, boo? Why do I suddenly feel a pang of guilt? Why does it feel like I just did something horribly wrong? Okay, can't fake cry anymore. If I actually make Bei Chang cry for real, that's definitely not a good look for a ship. So, are you going to sleep now? This subordinate. If you dare say I don't dare or it's not proper again, believe me or not, I will cry my eyes out right here, right now, just for you. Boy was silent for a hot sec, then just pops down right next to a queen, sleep detected. Your girl was totally satisfied, snuggling right in, wrapping her arm around his waist, and drifting off to dreamland, manifesting this level of comfort. Waking up again was already evening. Time to flaws when struggling future hubby, am I right? I peeked at sleeping beauty next to me, was still out cold, like dead to the world. Guess even our super strong ML isn't invincible, huh? Even he needs his beauty sleep. I carefully tried to sneak up and over him when suddenly, his eyes snapped open. Scared me so bad I almost face planted. Seriously, my heart almost exited my body. Oh no, this is it, my face is ruined. Rip my gorgeous visage. Before I'd even process it, Bao Chang pulled me right back into his arms, took up lightning reflexes. Master, you okay? He asked with the pug dog eyes. My heart. There I was, lying on his chest, listening to steady strong thump of his heart. Seriously, this man is a walking romance novel. I thought amenable, definitely not flustered at all. Pinky promise. I sat up and casually called out, Shao Cui Hua Li, dinner time, chop chop. From outside door, the maids replied, go back to sleep, master. We'll call you when dinner's ready. Oh, you're so sweet. But then our boy Bao Chang instantly started to get up, like Nish accepted. Master, your humble servant has rested quite enough, he said. Goes at that, always ready to serve energy. A little smile played on my lips. He's so earnest, adorable. Bao Chang said, I'm here to do my hair. I'm some domestic fluff. Yes, master. Oh yeah, he's actually pretty good at this now. I remember the first time I asked him to do my hair, it was an absolute disaster, like a bird nest. So naturally I made him learn, because Queen needs her hair done right. After torturing my poor scalp for over 10 practice sessions, he finally got the hang of it. What a trooper. Come to think of it, it's been ages since he styled my hair. Ever since that pesky imperial decree dropped, he's been deliberately keeping his distance. Ugh, knowing much? Like, he literally stands several feet away and he talked me. Talk out friend zone by an ancient Cree. I looked at the perfectly styled bun he was creating, utterly pleased, and softly asked, Bao Chang, am I pretty? Time to drop the bait. Beautiful, short, sweet, just like a boy. I turned to face him, using my hand gently to chin so he would look at me. Direct eye contact activated. Didn't even look, so how do you know I'm pretty? Or is it because I hold a super deep spot in your heart? Rhetorical questions for the win. He gazed into my eyes, his Adam Al doing that little twitchy thing, and was silent for a moment before he finally spoke. Bro, internal screaming, I just know it. Master, he whispered, in his humble servant's heart. You're always the most beautiful. Cue the awes internal fangirling. So you like it, I teased, watching his face. Looking humbled, probably ready to combust. Honestly, this guy is so entertaining. After all this time, he still blushes at every little thing. He's so cold, emotionless shadow guard. He's clearly just a sweet, innocent puppy who hasn't seen the world. My little cinnamon roll. My fingertip slowly traced his way to his Adam's apple. Easy time is on. I'd practically feel his heart pounding through his throat. He's so not okay right now. My fingertip gently caressed his Adam's apple, and his eyes got all red-rimmed. He let out a little choke. Master, boy is about to spontaneously combust. Does your back still hurt, sweetie? Oh, the side switch up. The pain, master, he quickly replied. Eyes, all eyes. Clearly, I went a little wild scratching his back last night, because I totally saw the claw marks this morning. Oopsie. Must have hurt like a beast, huh? My bad, not really. But hey, I was hurting too back then, so suffering together? Chef's kiss. My apologies, this Lily's board is truly despicable. He quickly said, probably thinking I was mad. Bro, chill. Young miss, dinner is served, saved by the bell. Alright, let's go eat. Time to refuel after all that drama. The two maids didn't even bat an eye seeing Bao Chang this time. Just finished setting the table and discreetly retreat. We're used to his presence now, clearly. After I took my seat, I told them, come on, sit down and eat with me. The maids didn't protest, cause we usually eat together anyway, but when I'd invite Bao Chong, he'd always refuse, muttering something about proper etiquette. Ugh, so stuffy. And this time, surprise, surprise, he was doing the same old thing. So I slammed. Our simp ML Bei Chang was so utterly gobsmacked his whole body just froze like instantly. Bei Chang, you really don't want to share a meal with your queen? But before he could even open his mouth, our queen dramatically flounced back to bed, burrowed deep into the blankets, and turned her back on everyone. Moot. Fine, then I'm not eating either. Pouts harder. You guys can eat. I've completely lost my appetite. Meanwhile, the two little maids were frantically giving Bei Chang the fix-it, dude signal. Our simp ML Bei Chang slowly made his way to the bed, gently patting our queen's shoulder. My master, it's not that this subordinate doesn't want to... Our queen? She was not having it ignored. Bei Chang, you're literally a block of wood. Back then you were all cold and distant, and I just let it slide. But why are you still like this now? Don't you like me, you scammer? Our queen felt a little wronged, truly. After all these years in the manor, she barely knew anyone, and genuine people, even rarer than a good plot twist. I've been so proactive, and he's still acting like a sentient log. The struggle. The maids saw our queen's wrath, immediately yeeted themselves out, and even closed the door behind them. Smart girls. Bei Chang, our certified simp, was kneeling by the bed. My master, this subordinate was wrong. This subordinate deserves death. It's always the same few lines. This subordinate deserves death. This subordinate deserves death. All he knows how to say is death. Can't he just, console me a little? Why only these words? So our queen cried even harder, and our poor ML quickly spun her whole body around. Our girl looked up at him, tear-soaked and with a perfect little pout. Master manipulator. He reached out, gently wiping away her tears, his mouth a non-stop apology machine. My master, please don't cry anymore. This subordinate was wrong. Can I even cry? She's literally me. Bei Chang, you fundamentally don't like me, do you? That's why you just let me force you. And you still won't give in, right? No, this subordinate likes my master. Very, very much. His heartbroken eyes definitely didn't look fake. Our girl was convinced. Our queen sat up, opening her arms for him. Come here, puppy. He froze for a second, like a deer in headlights, then pulled her into a tight embrace. Do you like my master, or do you like Wenrun? He just stared blankly, and our queen could practically feel his brain buffering. Total blank slate. Maybe in his simple little brain, my master and Wenrun were both just her gasp. He hemmed and hawed for ages, unable to answer, probably terrified that a wrong reply would unleash the waterworks again. My dad named me Wenrun, and honestly, he nailed it. Your girl cries at everything, and when she feels wronged, forget about it. Tears galore. My master means loyalty, but Wenrun, that's where the real like comes in. My master and Wenrun, this subordinate likes both. So basically, the loyalty is for her and the liking, also for her. He gets it. That answer hit our queen right in the feels. She stopped making a fuss. Honestly, any more drama and she'd just be straight up fake. 3 days after the wedding, the crown prince didn't even bother to come home with our queen. Apparently some Miss Yueli kept him busy. Our queen? Couldn't care less. The colder he was, the easier it'd be for our girl boss to get that divorce later. Strategic queen, period. Back at the prime minister's manor, Dad noticed the crown prince was missing. His face? Not thrilled. He immediately asked if that crown prince had dared to bully his precious daughter. Nah, Dad, just no vibes whatsoever. Our queen's father was absolutely heartbroken, regretting every single moment he didn't refuse this ridiculous marriage. Our queen returned to her boudoir, and surprise, Bei Chang suddenly appeared, already on his knees before her. My master, this subordinate has found a clue about the drugging incident. Our queen couldn't bear to let her precious ML just keep kneeling there. Get up, and seriously stop kneeling at every single little thing from now on. My master, these rules simply cannot be ignored. So our queen just full-on hugged him. Bei Chang, just listen to me for once. If you keep kneeling, my heart will literally ache. Our simp ML's body stiffened, and his ears were totally beet red. Suddenly a gust of wind hit, and our girl was so cold, she just burrowed into his arms, letting out a couple of cute little coughs. Feeling her shiver, he quickly pulled her into an even tighter hug. Then he pulled out a stone from his embrace, and hurled it towards the window. The wooden prop holding the window open fell, the window slammed shut, and the wind was gone. Our girl finally felt much warmer, but she was still a bit dizzy, her vision blurry, unable to stand steady. She knew she'd just caught a chill. Bak Thong placed his hand on her wrist to check her pulse. His worried brows finally relaxed a little. Master, don't worry. This subordinate will go to the clinic later and get some medicine for your wind cold. Our girl nodded, signaling for him to help her to the bed. He understood, but instead of just helping her walk, he directly scooped her up and placed her on the bed. You said there were clues about the aphrodisiac? Bak Thuong nodded. It was Nguyen Lai's scheme, originally meant for Tai Tu, but on the way, 2 little maids got them mixed up. The medicine that was supposed to go to her ended up in our queen's room instead. Iconic. A smirk played on our girl's lips. You really think it was just a mix-up? Does the world really have that many coincidences? And that medicine just happened to end up in my room? I'm afraid this wet lie always planned to sacrifice me to complete her love story with them. Thinking back, Tai too must have known about this too. That's why his expression was a bit hesitant when we talked 2 days ago, even telling me I could find some joy. I'm a delicate lady, he'd have to be crazy to say such cryptic things. He definitely knew about me and Bak Thuong, and that's why he said it. But he didn't expose the situation, nor did he use it to push for a divorce. He seems to have some honor after all. Huh. Bak Thuong thought our girl was worried about exposure, so he comforted her. Master, rest assured, this subordinate will not let this matter get out. This subordinate will go kill Nwet Lai right now. Our girl tugged at his sleeve. Bak Thuong, if this scandalous mess gets out, I can finally divorce. He frowned. Master, this will ruin your reputation. Our girl deliberately put on a heartbroken face. Will Bak Thuong look down on me now? Absolutely not. How could this subordinate dare to look down on Master? Our girl sighed, pulling out a handkerchief to fake wipe her tears. So it's because you dare not because you wouldn't look down on me? Oh, so Bak Thuong really cares about this reputation thing. Interesting. So Bak Thuong, do you also think I'm not good or that I'm loose? Heartbroken, Bak Thuong quickly covered her mouth. Master, don't speak such nonsense. Master is the best woman in this entire world. Our girl was a little touched. For years outsiders had called her weak and sickly. When the imperial decree for her marriage was issued, everyone said she wasn't worthy of the talented and virtuous Tai Tu. Besides her father, Xiao Gui and Hua Li, only Bak Thuong thought she was good. He even thought she was the best woman in the world. But she wasn't good like that at all. Her body wasn't great, and she did the man this girl likes, she's chasing him no questions asked. Because honestly, who knows how long this body's gonna last. And not fighting for the person you love, that's a tragedy, sis. But right now, your girl's having some major regrets. I'm literally on borrowed time here. How can I drag Bei Shang into this mess if I just croak? What's our poor simp ML gonna do then? So I called for him. Bei Shang, do you love me? Think very carefully before you answer that, buddy. 'Cause like and love are not the same thing, okay? And Bei Shang, bless his heart, totally got what I was hinting at. He was silent for ages, clearly processing my very loaded question. After what felt like an eternity, he finally answered. Your subordinate truly, deeply loves his master. And if master wishes for this subordinate's life, he'd give it up, no questions asked. From now on, you'll listen to everything I say, right? Boss, I just smiled. Bei Shang, as for Yueli's nonsense, don't even bother. He hesitated for a hot second, then gave a nod. Once I recovered, guess what, more meds. I'm literally used to it by now. Every time winter rolls around, it's like I'm marinating in a giant pot of elixirs. A bowl in the morning, and a medicated bath at night. A month later, I finally ran into that Yueli. Our girl's born naturally gorgeous, like your typical delicate fragile princess. She side-eyed me with some serious intention, then gave a polite little bow. Greetings, big sister. I just hummed a non-committal, Hua Li beside me was already fuming a little, but seeing our queen wasn't fazed, she kept her cool. I'd barely walked a few steps when I heard her deliberately chewing out her poor little maid. What are you drinking? If anything happens to the baby, can you even handle it? You, worthless servant. Please, madam, spare my life. This servant knows her mistake. Your girl just let out a cold, knowing chuckle. Like, what's the point of these petty schemes? I don't even love your trash crown prince anymore. I just walked straight back, flopped onto my bed, and called it a day. These past few days I've been feeling sleepy 24/7 for some reason. I called out for Bei Shu, and boom, he appeared, kneeling right in front of me. Just seeing him instantly made my mood like 1000% better. Bei Shu, I'm about to ditch the crown prince. Ever thought about venturing out and building your own empire? It's not that I look down on his status, but like, I'm still the prime minister's legit daughter, and my dad totally dotes on me. If he's just a shadow guard, even if I'm a divorcee, my dad probably wouldn't let me marry him, no cap. He froze, but of course he got the gist. Master, your subordinate is just worried about you. Worried about what, bestie? You're a martial arts powerhouse. You can totally carve out your own legendary path. He was about to refuse, so I cut him off. Bei Shu, you don't want to marry me, huh? I do, then go. And with that, he finally agreed. He came to my bedside, pulled me into his arms and whispered, Master, wait for me. This subordinate will definitely come back to marry his master, with a grand 8-bearer sedan chair. I looked up and kissed him. I'll wait for you. His body stiffened, he gasped, holding back as he uttered, Master. My fingers traced his palm, and I chuckled, whispering into his ear, How much more do you want me to initiate, huh? He bent down and kissed me. Usually, he's super reserved. No matter how much I teased him, a quick hug was the most I could get out of him. But this time, knowing we were about to part, he couldn't hold back anymore. Afterward, I drifted off to sleep. In my half-sleep, I heard him whisper, Ruan, Ruan, remember to think of me, okay? One morning, I woke up and Beishu was gone. On the table sat his usual pen and a note. It read, Master, please take good care of yourself. Your subordinate has departed. I held the paper, smiling like a lovesick idiot for a long, long time. A few days later, the crown prince sent a divorce letter, and even the emperor gave his blessing. The day I was leaving the estate, I collapsed right in front of the carriage. When I came to, the crown prince was sitting at a table not far away. He noticed I was awake and dropped the bombshell. You're pregnant. Over a month already. I was stunned, speechless. Wait, I'm pregnant? The crown prince walked over to my bed. The imperial physician said, your body is weak. Whether you keep this baby or not, your body won't be able to handle it. I understand. If I keep it, my frail body might not survive the torment of 10 months of pregnancy. But if I don't, my body won't withstand the devastating effects of abortion medicine either. I understand. Thank you, Your Highness, for letting me know. The crown prince frowned. Doesn't he care about you? He's gone to serve in the army at the border. Should this prince send someone to inform him? I refused, saying there was no need. He can hold out for a while. Then rest here for now. Return to your estate in a few days. I stood up and said, no need. We're already divorced. What kind of propriety would it be for me to stay in the crown prince's estate any longer? The crown prince didn't find it convenient to say anything further, so he simply sent a few people to escort me back to the prime minister's estate. Arriving back at the prime minister's estate, my father was overjoyed to have me home. It's all right, my child. Your father can support you until you're old and gray. From taking medicine to regulate my body, I switched to taking medicine to stabilize my pregnancy. At this point, rumors were spreading like wildfire throughout the capital. They said I was pregnant, but that after a month of marriage, the crown prince had never entered my room. They claimed I'd been having an affair, which was why the crown prince divorced me, and the words were beyond nasty. My father was furious, pressing me to tell him whose child it was. Whose is it? Tell me whose. When I told him the truth, he immediately fell silent, as if he'd already suspected the baby was Beishu's. Things got even more serious. People were even throwing things at the prime minister's estate, claiming that Prime Minister so-and-so raised such a loose and promiscuous daughter. I felt incredibly uncomfortable. I knew this matter wasn't as simple as it seemed. I arranged to meet Yueli in the suburbs, and the moment we met, I slapped her across the face. She glared at me angrily. You're shameless yourself, yet you blame me? I snorted coldly. You haven't even married yet, and you climbed into the crown prince's bed on my wedding day. So, what are you pretending for? It's not my fault the crown prince showers me with more attention. Who TF wants your crown prince anyway? Just then, a crowd of ladies suddenly swarmed around us, all the noble wives and families of the court officials. And just like that, it clicked. That's why Yueli just stood there and took that slap without fighting back. Yueli, of course, burst into fake tears, accusing me, and making sure everyone saw her perfectly swollen red cheek. What a green tea! They already hated my guts, so they all started yelling at me in unison. I pretended I didn't hear a thing, turned around and dipped, spotting Xiaocui and Huali waiting by the carriage. But I couldn't hold it in anymore, and just broke down crying. They freaked out, asking if I'd been bullied. I didn't say a word, just got into the carriage, choked out let's go home, and tried not to sob. My two sweet maids felt so bad for their girl boss, but they still did as they were told and drove us back to the manor. Seeing all the rotten veggies and fruit thrown outside the prime minister's manor, I couldn't help but tear up again. Xiaoqui snuck me in through the back gate. My dad saw my puffy swollen eyes, and his own eyes started to well up. He just patted my shoulder and told me to get some good rest. The very next day, my dad submitted a petition to the emperor, asking to retire and go back to our hometown. The emperor didn't agree to the retirement, but he said my dad could take a few months off to cheer me up and take me traveling. And just like that, we ended up in a small town called Qingsheng. No one here had a clue who we were. I had no idea where Beishang had gone. The Song army had 4 fronts, east, west, south, and north. And right now, they were clashing with the neighboring countries on the western and northern fronts. With my delicate condition and being pregnant, there was no way I could go searching for him. The local folks here were simple and honest, and the Qingsheng County magistrate was a good, upright official who truly loved his people. Qingsheng was super well organized and peaceful. 4 months later, my dad had to go back to the capital, but me? Nope, I wasn't having it. My dad didn't say a word, just left me a stack of silver notes, told me to take good care of myself, and then he left. Half a month later, I got a letter from Beishang. There were 5 letters in total, all addressed to the Prime Minister's manor. My dad then had someone forward them to me. Big sister, are you still doing well? Master, how are you doing? Your subordinate really misses you, Master. Your subordinate has been at the military camp for a month now. I finally figured out how to write to you. Today, the marshal even praised your subordinate, so I just had to write and share the good news with Master. Big sister, are you still doing well? These past few days your subordinate has been slaying it. I consecutively chopped off the heads of 3 enemy generals and got promoted 3 ranks. Your subordinate really misses you. I wonder if you're doing well? Staring at his perfectly neat handwriting, I suddenly started crying again. Grabbing some paper, a brush, and ink, I started writing my reply. Everything is fine with me. My heart just aches missing you. The battlefield is merciless, so please, be super careful out there. I didn't want to distract him, so I didn't tell him I was pregnant. Once I was done, I gave the letter to Xiao Cui and asked her to find someone to deliver it. Bei Shang and I kept up our letter exchange until I was 8 months pregnant. Then, a month or 2 went by with no letters from him. I was burning with worry, overthinking absolutely everything, and it triggered premature labor. Xiao Cui and Hua Li were running around like crazy, boiling hot water and prepping all the birthing supplies. I pushed with all my might, drenched in sweat, but it was a seriously tough delivery. The midwife was shouting around, anxiously urging our queen to push. But our queen is seriously out of strength. She's so tired, her eyes are barely even opening anymore. Don't fall asleep, young miss. Our queen heard them, but she's actually exhausted. What a shame she can't even see Bak Thong one last time. Wonder if Bak Thong will hate her. She knew her body couldn't stay with him forever, yet she still teased him. Will he hate her for it? Nah, whatever, let him hate. If she's dead, it's not like she'll know anyway. Master, your subordinate has returned. She could almost hear Bak Thong calling her name. She forced her eyes open, and there he was, the face she dreamed of day and night. And she burst into tears. Bak Thong. Our simp ML gripped her hand tightly. Your subordinate is here. I'm here. His eyes were red from crying, but our queen bit her lip, letting the pain ground her. This isn't a dream, it's really Bak Thong. Seeing her awake, he immediately pulled her into his arms. Don't be scared, master. Your subordinate is here to protect you. The midwife hesitantly spoke up. Sir, the madam is having a difficult birth. You should really step out. But before she could even finish, Bak Thong's sword was already at her neck. Yandere flags? A little. Deliver the baby now. If anything happens to her, I will personally chop you into pieces. The midwife nodded furiously. Fear plastered on her face, then came to our queen's feet, trembling as she told her to push. Our queen took a deep breath, one hand gripping the bed frame, the other held tight by Bak Thong, and with every last ounce of she pushed. It's here. Just before she blacked out, our queen heard the baby's cry and jolted awake again. Bak Thong was sitting right beside her, not leaving her side for even a second. His face was haggard, but seeing her awake, he immediately rushed closer. Master, you're awake. Are you hungry? Not hungry. The wet nurse took the baby to feed it already. He stroked her head, then suddenly burst into tears. Master, you've been living so poorly. Why didn't you tell your subordinate? Our queen was flustered. This was the first time she'd ever seen him cry. She quickly comforted him. I'm living perfectly fine. I'm okay, really. Isn't this going pretty well now? He hugged her tighter, whispering softly, Your subordinate almost didn't get to see Master again. I don't even know what to say. Well, technically, our queen did deceive him. She carefully wiped away his tears. Alright, I'm usually the crybaby here. I haven't even shed a tear yet, so why are you crying first? He said with a hint of anger. Master, rest assured, those who dared to bully you, your subordinate won't let a single one of them go. Seeing the murderous glint in his eyes, our queen was like, Hold up, why would she let him go on a rampage for her? He looked at our queen suspiciously. Huh? You also bullied me, and our queen will remember that for her entire life. His face flushed red. Your subordinate will spend this entire lifetime making it up to Master. Our boy has really grown up. Before, all he knew was to say, Your subordinate deserves death. Marry me, already. Our girl pointed at Nui Li, and all the other haters who dared to disrespect her. Our simp ML furrowed his brows, clearly not in the mood to let these clowns off the hook. Our queen then pretended to pout. Your girl even pleaded for you. Are you seriously going to ditch me now? Our pretty boy immediately panicked and said, No, your subordinate has already gone to the Prime Minister's estate to propose. So, what did he say? He went quiet, which clearly meant crickets, a big fat no. Just then FL's dad stomped in roaring, You let my daughter suffer so much. You left my precious girl all alone, and you still expect me to marry her off to you? Bei Chang quietly pulled back the hand that was wrapped around our queen, then slowly, hesitantly, knelt on the ground and bowed his head. Oh, the angst! Our queen didn't want to see Bei Chang get humiliated like this, so she tried to pull him up, but he wouldn't budge. She turned to her dad. Dad, what are you doing? It was I who told him to join the army. He doesn't even know I'm pregnant. Her dad, with a guilty start, muttered, well, I didn't tell him to kneel. He just loves acting pathetic. Our queen glared at her dad. So, if you won't let me marry him, do you want me to be lonely and single forever? Her dad grumbled under his breath. It's not like no one else wants you. Your reputation is already in the mud. Who would dare marry you? Marry you off? What if you give him a green hat? Anyway, I will marry Bei Chang. Unless he doesn't want me anymore, I won't marry anyone else but him. The simp ML immediately exclaimed, my queen, your subordinate will never not want you. Never. Fine, fine. Being a live-in son-in-law won't be a problem, right? No way. Bei Chang is a great general now. How can he be a live-in son-in-law? Our queen was just about to open her mouth, but Pi Chang already blurted out, no problem. Absolutely no problem at all. After we return to the capital, we'll get married. Then those people won't dare to spout any more nonsense. Because Bei Chang totally pulled a kill the chicken to scare the monkey move and directly crippled Nu Yue Li. Get her, queen's man. The crown prince also gave that green tea bitch the boot, all because he wanted to win over our family support. Bei Chang immediately suggested dealing with Nu Yue Li, and the crown prince happily agreed. At first, our queen didn't get why the crown prince agreed. After all, he used to be so smitten with Nu Yue Li. Later, she found out the crown prince had learned about all the nasty things Nu Yue Li had done, and he was furious. Turns out the crown prince was an upright gentleman who couldn't stand her petty, scheming methods, so his feelings for her had already shriveled up like a raisin, and Bei Chang just happened to give him the perfect excuse to dump his fiancée. On their wedding night, our simp ML was already waiting in the bridal chamber. Talk about eager. He carefully lifted our queen's bridal veil, then just stared at her with a goofy, love-struck smile. My heart. Our queen, feeling all flustered, shyly said, Okay, stop staring. He blushed crimson and offered her the nuptial wine. After they drank, he pulled her into a tight hug. My queen, I finally got to marry you. Our queen just smiled. Still calling me, my queen? Run. Hubby. His body stiffened, and his arms around her waist couldn't help but tighten even more. Bro was affected. Run. Can you call me that again? Our queen leaned in, kissed his lips, and then even more tenderly, whispered hubby. He immediately scooped her up and carried her to the bed. Run, I love you. I